Imagine choosing death over homelessness. That's what one St. Catharines man is contemplating. Tonight on City News, we continue to delve into medically assisted dying and how some believe it is their only option to living in poverty.
Are you afraid to die?
Who isn't? Yeah,
Amir Farsood has applied for medically assisted dying, known as MAID. He lives in constant agony due to a back injury, but has started the process for end of life because his rooming house is up for sale and he can't find anywhere else to live that he can afford. He barely survives on Ontario disability support payments, which are just over $1,200 a month. He doesn't want to die, but being homeless is not an option.
I know in my present health condition I wouldn't survive it anyway.
Farsood meets the criteria for MAID: physical suffering due to disability that cannot be relieved. His doctor, who knows Farsood's real reason for MAID is his fear of being homeless, signed off on the application in August. Farsood needs a second to do the same. There's a 90-day waiting period. He believes he could potentially access MAID in about a month.
I don't wish to be dead, even with the pain, even with the meds. I still want to be here.
The CEO of Dying with Dignity Canada, a charity for end-of-life rights, says the organization has raised concerns about cases like this with the federal government.
The fact that people are feeling compelled to apply for MAID or to even ask about MAID because they can't get the basic fundamentals to live a life it's shameful. You know, as a country, as a government, we should be ashamed.
When medically assisted dying became legal in Canada in 2016, it was only for people facing imminent death. Accessibility was expanded last March.
We have created a system where ending of life is an easier and cheaper solution than actually investing in healthcare and social support.
Trudeau Lemons is a professor of law and bioethics at U of T. He argues MAID devalues the life of people with disabilities who often live in poverty.
I actually had not expected that it would go so fast and that this particular issue of people living in poverty asking for medical assistance in dying would so rapidly take off in the Canadian context and that physicians would sign off on it.
So what is the solution in your mind?
The solution is, in my view, to go back to the drawing table.
The Netherlands has monthly commissions that review troubling assisted dying cases. Canada does not. It does publish yearly stats. The latest shows last year MAID accounted for 3.3% of all deaths in Canada, or 10,064 people. That's a 32.4% increase over the year before. 65% of cases report cancer as the underlying reason. 81% of requests resulted in the administration of MAID. The average age is 76. Amir is 54. While he doesn't want to die, he wants to have the choice.
At the end of the day, it's a personal decision.
City News asked the federal government for comment on this story. In an email response, it points out there are enhanced safeguards and states it is highly unlikely 2 doctors would deem a person eligible for MAID if they had reason to believe their, quote, suffering could be relieved on a sustained basis by access to reasonable and available treatment and social services. Canada is one of the most liberal countries in the world when it comes to medically assisted dying. In March, it's further expanding eligibility to include people with mental disorders. It's expected MAID will be about 4% of all deaths in this country. That's in line with Belgium and the Netherlands. We will keep in touch with Amir Farsood.